Elapsed time 18 minutes, 18 seconds. Hi, welcome to my tube. I'm Marge. I'm a Yoke Empath. I just like having these little talks on the way I feel about things. And today I feel pretty good. There's all kinds of bugs walking all over my laptop. We might see a spider belly come across here. It happened once. It's pretty cool. Twice, I think. Done over 1,000 videos. Probably 1,100 by now. I like to talk a lot. I have a lot of feelings, and I've been getting a lot of guidance in my life on how to process and talk through feelings and emotions. So, since everybody has so many these days, I thought that I would share my experience, my strength, and my hope with other people, so that they can sort their shit out too, so they don't got to take it out on other people. Ain't that right, Nubbins the squirrel? His nest is up there. It was hot today. It's like muggy. Gah. It's like sticky. Yeah. What does it say? How hot does it say it is? According to AccuWeather, it's 98. But at least it's congruent with the real feel. So stupid, 2 temperatures. So stupid. The whole 40, all the main parallels, the whole world's heating up. So I got a picture earlier from somebody. I think it said 119. The picture went away, and then I couldn't get it to come back because you only get like two looks, and I'm not good because I take it all in. And I was a little late to see what the main focus of the photo was, I do believe. And I think it said it was 119 where she was. I could be wrong. Sacramento 108, Redding 109. Omaha's 85. But I think aren't they getting thunderstorms this week? No. Looks like their weather's pretty good. Maybe some rain tomorrow. Anyway, I collect data all day long. I hang out with my mom. I'm one of those. I'm her primary caregiver, and I have been. Hi, buddy. You sit right up there. What are you doing, man? You gonna walk over and show people your spider tummy? The camera's right there. If you do, that'd be cool. If not, that's cool too. I ain't gonna be mad about it. Oh, you standing up? Are you gonna throw your web? You being a spider? You being a spider doing spider things? People are like, I hate spiders. I'm like, dude, spiders are so cool, man. They're just doing spiders. They're like, I think spiders have a lot of scorpionic. But freaking they spin their own web, and it's like the never-ending web. They don't ever, and they freaking go on frequency. That's how they travel, is they use it like a sail, and they'll hook into a vibe and then like anchor themselves. I freaking could watch spiders for us. I'm closer to spiders than most people on the earth these days, and you learn a lot about people from animal behavior, because people act a lot like animals do, and then when people have these animal aspects in their planetary charts and alignments, maybe you're not going to be so freaking shocked if somebody with the Scorpio moon bites you. DT has one. The president, he has a Scorpio moon. We have a lot of the same we have like 3 major aspects that are the same. I act a lot like him, but I'm not as well received. Well, I guess he's not really well received. So I went down an ant hole earlier today because someone I know posted a picture like this. You can't see there. And it's only in Redding, right? Right? This guy standing on the street corner with, I think it's a squirrel hat. Or so, I can't really see what's on his hat, but he's in his shorts and he's just chilling. Redding's fucking hot, people don't care. What do you care? What he's just being him, right? But then I look, hurdy-gurdy, man. But then I zoom in, and because I always look at the background, because I'm all recon, I'm all security-minded, I'm all like investigative-minded. That's what I do, is I collect data all day. And I zoom in on it, and in the corner here, it says www.childrenfirstffa.com. So, I went down that little rabbit hole. And I'm like, that's what, because I watched Longmire, and Longmire has stories about that. you know. And that's what they do, is they put these stories in the media, and then the writers are like related to like people that this stuff has happened to, that knows about this stuff, you know, like to the police, that they come home, you know, and they're like, you wouldn't believe what happened at work today, and they tell these accounts of these corrupt and criminal acts, you know, that people do, these dastardly, and most of them are rich. Most of the criminals are not poor. Most of the biggest, most dastardly criminals in history are the ones at the top. So these other people related to them, and they listen, they grow up, you know, and they think of all these stories that they've heard. So they write stories about him, you know, outlet, creative outlet. Oh yeah, it's not real. It doesn't happen. That stuff doesn't happen, you know, but people are writing about their own actual personal accounts, you know. They're just saying it's veiled in in fiction, but many a truth is said and just, you know. So it's coming out that all these storylines are just, like there's this one, that's what the foster system is. So foster system is, it's they take a lot, you know, look how many, I should have been misplaced. I was one of those people. I went into my high school counselor when I was a freshman at Nova. I was 15 years old, and I was like, my mom's boyfriend tried to kill me. I don't feel safe. I would like you to contact CPS. And then the guy wrote me off and shrugged me off and blew me off. Nah, you're just, you know, emotional female. Are you on your period? You know, all that stuff. And I'm just like, dude, if you call the police, there's police reports, you know, but it can't be bothered, right? So I slit, you know, so see, and you know what storylines that Hollywood doesn't put out? We're the stories of the foster kids that went through the system and that succeeded. That's why they don't write stories in movies and Hollywood and TV and stuff like that. And, you know, maybe shows Oliver Twist. No, he didn't make it. Annie, little orphan Annie, she made it. Look what happened to her. Ooh, Daddy Warbucks? If that's not freaking child, you know, right? Ooh. I just looked at that. That just ruined my childhood. I remember seeing the original with the little girl with the red, you know, Daddy Warbucks. Daddy Warbucks getting all of his money from profiting from war. You know? And so I looked up that organization, and it's a non-profit, but it's a adoption agency. So they take kids. A lot of times they'll take kids out of places that the parents just need help, like a day off. They're just stressed out. They need someone to say, just, you know, let me have like a parental R&B, because my mom was a single parent, and I know she had meltdowns all the time. I mean, she just was like, especially with me, and my brother wasn't too much of a problem child, but I was kind of a handful because I was just into everything and so fiery. and so, and this organization is out of Northern California. It's a nonprofit. So it's a nonprofit. So they take kids, you know, and then these people expanded, so they go into and that's what a lot of psychiatrists and mental hospitals do. Is there's people all schizophrenic, where everybody's a little schizophrenic. That's your intuition, okay? Sometimes people have stronger intuition. Sometimes people have louder intuition. Sometimes people have more sources of intuition, like John Edwards, you know, and the psychic intuitive like me, you know, that we're just receiving from all over. Everybody does it, but how much effort do people put into that, ignoring the data they're receiving? You know, everything the universe is saying says, no, don't be with that person. They're not for you. They're to your detriment. But you're like, you love who you love. It's my same flame. I'm gonna do it anyway. Even if I look like an idiot. Nah. So I went down the rabbit hole, or ant hole. I like ant holes better. Of this children, because Reddit is a hot spot for people missing. It's a hot spot, man. People get freaking Hell's Angels. There's satanic cult rituals. Oh, I grew up with it. I saw my first snuff film when I was 15. And people like that, and it turns them on. And it's like erotica to them. And see, what happens is I've always been the person that says, no, I ain't into that. I ain't into that evil shit. I ain't for evil. I ain't for evil. So for the evil doers, they just keep quiet. And, you know, a lot of them will harass me and give me a hard time and instill their dominance and their power and their don't you know who I am and blah, 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 and try and put me in my place, whatever. Just like, whatever. I'm a peaceful being, you know. And they're mostly too cowardice to ever freaking do anything first, so. And I won't, I'm not a first striker, so. I'm a self-defender, but I'm not a first striker, so. I don't believe that you should put your hands on people. Ever. Without permission. Not even out of love. I don't even give people hugs unless I get permission. Can I give you a hug? Alright, cool, thanks. Ah! Since you gave me permission, I will hug your face off. So here's some of the board members to that creepy organization. Started in 1999. CEO. Now if they don't look like creepy creepertons, I mean, really? Do they really look like that they're, you know, certified to work with kids? Would you leave your kids with them? I wouldn't. Bazillionaire. These guys have so much money. And see, that's the thing. Is all these people have put themselves into a position of power, and so people can't even go to the good places. Because it's like, unless you think like us and in line like us, you're not going to get a freaking place to live. You know? It all starts with the real estate agents. People, you know, communities are going to start being more selective under the terms of we do not discriminate, but let's see how hard it is for me to get a place to live. If people want to help you, they help you. And if they don't, they hinder. And look at all the bureaucrats that are about to freaking get blasted. Blasted out of their positions. Blasted out of their titles. Blasted out of their incomes and their cush. You ready for the shift? It's about to go. Concoct! Things are revving up, man. And you know what happens when things rev up for too much for too long? You know what happens? Either something explodes, gets too hot, friction, and things blow apart. Or you run out of gas and things just stop. Or there's lots of possibilities. But everybody knows that something is... The word I hear, the common denominator word that I hear this week is crescendo. It's a crescendo. Okay, so look, and this is all. These are all their. See, this is what these do. These nonprofits. These are all their board members. So it's all boom, boom, board members. Look at all these people. Oh, we help kids. We pay ourselves 6 figures to say that we help kids, and all of our expenses we write off. But how many kids do they ever help? Where are the success stories? Like any of them. I don't know any. I know plenty of people. I get my barber. He went through the foster system. Dude, in Oregon here, they take kids out of their homes instead of giving the parents a break and then helping them financially. They just say, oh, we're not going to help you, but you obviously can't handle it, so we'll take your kids away. And then they take the kids and they put them in freaking like podunk jail cells and shit like that. That's what they do in Oregon. It's fucking weird, man. That's why freaking old Brown's freaking shitting her pants. She's brown in her pants right now because all this stuff is coming out because these kids have grown up and they've educated themselves, you know, because I'm one of them. And we became educated and we learned that you got to be peaceful. There's a peaceful way that you got to do things because if you react, people don't take you seriously. And that's what the egomaniacal want you to do is they want you to react so they can make you see you can't control yourself. And those are the people that are psychotic because they don't know what it's like to be under extreme stress that you think that you and your 4 dogs and your 70-year-old mother, 69-year-old mother who had a stroke freaking come 40 years ago, who's just, you know, been declining year after year since then, you know. Thank God she's physically healthier, just her mental capacity is just deteriorated time, you know, year after year, and you just get to love her where you got her, you know. But the possibility of being on the street without a place to live because somebody doesn't feel like letting you live there. It's all about who's in charge and how they feel that day. It's always been that way. I've always been made the example of. But that's not the policy. I know the policy. I'm in within standards. Nope, Marge, we're just going to make it things a little bit different for you. It has been like that my whole life. It's in my astrology chart. It was verified by the peace dealer, Michael. You know, he's like, no, it's not you. This is more about their karma, not yours. I'm like, well, that, okay. Doesn't make the freaking, hurt any less. Anyway, so these are the people that run that organization for it's all for the kids. And you go to their website and, their donate button and all these people are, and then I look at the bottom of the page and these are all the people, this took me down another ant-hole of all the this is all a racket, all these accreditations, memberships and accreditations. Says who? What's your expertise? What is your, and then I looked up the one in the middle, you can't see it, SARF International. SARF International. They had some bad press because one of their institutions where is it? What was it called? They had bad press. I can't remember. Hi, little Finch. Welcome. Gonna come sit on the fence behind me and be on my tiny tube. You are more than welcome. Oh, before I started this talk, I was watching artofdino.com. And I was like, I've been doing a lot of doodling and art too. And that's another way to channel. That's how you can like get out of your own head, get out of your own way and just kind of be. And just kind of follow your thoughts without jumping on any kind of thought train. Any kind of direct, just kind of let your mind wander and just, those are the ethers. Those are the frequencies that people, you got to get quiet to tune into. And it's easy to get to, but how often are people getting quiet these days? Everything's loud and noisy. I got to meditate today about an hour and a half today. It's freaking badass. It was so cool and much needed. Because you don't worry as much. Because you tip into the freaking, you plug into some source where all the answers are. And you don't got to know them because they're up there. And sometimes you're giving them. And sometimes you're giving ideas when you get quiet and you listen. And then you come back and you ground down to earth. And you're like, hey, I'm going to go out and try this in the world. Let's see if this works. I watch other people's videos all day long. I use their stuff into my reports. I just always I try to make a point to give credit where credit's due and give people credit where, go watch their talks. Go spend the time that I spent getting the education that I got. Put it in your ear and then just walk around and do your chores, I'm not a reader. I'm more of a data input, in my brains. What else was I going to talk about? It is just it's so weird how the backstories are playing out. How I see in so many other like Keijin and Don't Drink the Kool-Aid 1 and 2 because they keep getting freaking grounded. I'm going to keep an eye out. If you lose 2, I'm going to keep an eye out for 3. Just because all this truth is coming out. And it's like the fact of the reality of any kind of data and information is that we aren't going to know 100% if any storyline is ever true. But the thing of it is with all this Hollywood nasty pedo crap, it's like it adds up. It's like they can't, it's like, oh God, the writing is all the wall and everybody is seeing it. Everybody is, oh yeah. And I'm like, yeah. But it's okay. It ain't a time for I told you so. It's a time for, this is a sickness. These are the people that are doing it. People like me. Find the people that are doing it. Know the people that are doing it because we have had these accounts happen to us. We are you know, our experience counts more for any PhD, for any master's that has read a books or even written books on processing or comprehending or living through traumatic events in early childhood all the way up, you know? Because for people like me of merit and integrity, I look at them and say, where's your life experience? How can you help people get through hurt and shit if you ain't ever been through shit? That's why I encourage every candidate that's on the ballot this year, why don't you go down and live in the tent cities? Go live amongst the tent cities and the poverty that you have created, because you have created this with your lack of scope thinking. You have created this, so go live. These are the constituents. These will be, and they can't vote because they don't have an address. Isn't that funny how you did that? You created all these people that don't qualify because they don't have an address. It's all a reindeer game, dude. The bottom line is it doesn't matter left, right, blue, red. It's no Republicans, Dems, people. It's a circle of fucking greed, you know? And it just so happens that the guy in charge is saying, this guy's always been a scumbag. I remember you were always a scumbag. You were always a scumbag. You were always a freaking really dirty scumbag. And yeah, he ran with the people. Because when you vibe in the same frequencies, you're going to run around people. He didn't continually, you know. And I saw a talk earlier today on the Drink of Kool-Aid. They shared somebody else's expert. And it's just like, yeah, that's not the only island. It's all the islands. It's Disneyland. It's Disney World. It's all of business. It's the College World Series. It's all of the the young underage girls and boys too. I always forget. God forbid. The younger age boys and girls, the kids that like in the Olympics. It's all that dirty system. It's wherever. It's all the private school system. It's all the church system. It's all those orphanage systems where they take and separate to do with your kids. They take their kids. 800,000, however, 400,000, 800,000 go missing, you know. But what's the number when you are voluntarily giving up your child? That child goes missing. They are not in your care. Parents should never. All this shit they never should have been doing. And now they're like, we're going to start doing it, we're going to start not selling children. From here on out, no more selling, no more. And look at all the products. Look at all the famous people pushing products from countries, and people keep buying them. And it's like, you got to pick your battles. You got to pick and choose your battles. Because it's like, I could find all the shit on Vans. I ain't going to go looking. I mean, the fact that, they use leather and kill cows and all, I mean, I could really go down that right. There's a spectrum in everything. It's what can you live with? And Vans have always been significant to me, and it's a common denominator that I got a lot with a lot of people. So when I'm like in a crowd of people and I see a bunch of people with freaking, Nike, Adidas, blah, 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 and then one person with a pair of Vans, I'll probably go talk to the person with Vans over anybody else. I do shit like that. I live my life like that. Common denominators. Where are we at? Oh! Ooh, let's look at the sky was cool earlier. Let's see if it's there. Yep. I think the UFOs veiled themselves in energy. Is that? I can't see. Rawr. Hi. What are you guys doing up there? What are you doing? What are you a representation of? Ooh, the laptop's hot. You so nice. You can see in frequency. And they breathe, they go in and out, and they grow. Oh, we got a floaty up here. We're the floaty. Hi, floaty floaterton. I love the floaties. Alright, I'm about done looking at clouds. I can do that by myself. Okay. It's like the hottest part of the day. Although it didn't get as hot as I thought it would. All the fans are blowing on her. She's in a good mood. I'm gonna cut this live here in a minute and then go inside and get her some ice cream. Then we'll have our evening chat. I should just write a lot of notes on the stuff that she talks about. She and I talk about. We have some really good she's really, really intuitive. I get my intuitiveness from her. So, hello. Yes, people are waking up. Hello from South Carolina, Kimberly. Did you go get drunk, Kim? You're like, I'm gonna go get drunk. I'm like, you know what? If I was a drinker, I mean, if my ego was flaring that much more, I'd probably join you on the. It is a drink, but I can't drink because it takes my spirit and the ego comes on, and then all hell breaks loose, and then we're freaking. I don't know. It's early yet, but I think it's gonna be a rough night overnight. I think it is. Because, all these people are all these meathead Neanderthals that are up in fucking Portland and stuff that are beating up on these little freaking video game playing fucking chunky little chickens, They're just out there just like, we're trying to support something. We never really stood for anything, and now's our chance. Let them, And these freaking big old freaking roided out Neanderthals that are so pissed because their dicks don't work because they've taken so many supplements and that it just nothing works. And then a lot of sex and masculinity has to do with that. It's mental too. So look at all the people that need Viagra and stuff, like all the dudes that need Viagra, and things just aren't working because you could tell because the trucks just keep getting bigger. And the women driving their big trucks too. These people don't even know how to spatially drive these things, and the parking places aren't getting much bigger. But the trucks keep getting bigger. People are but I got me a big old truck, and they never freaking do shit with it, and they always wash it. I reckon Oregon's weird. I gotta go, man. This ain't my vibe. Anyway, so all these Neanderthals are beating up kids. They're freaking straight up bullying kids, and then they're saying it, they're standing behind their law, justice, and bullshit, all the gear that we pay for. We buy all their gear to make them look like fucking stormtroopers so they can kick the shit out of our kids. Where are all these kids' parents? Going, you don't get to fucking put your hands on my kid, dick. There ain't no law that says you get to put, where's all the universal law? Where are all these freaking rednecks that are saying, you put your hands on my kid? Now we got a problem. It's nice that the kids are, standing out in the streets, the young ones, but when the bullies start coming out, we're the bullies that bully bullies. Because they're just little bitches. All those cops are. And you know what's funny? It's funny because every single one of those fuckers, I don't care how big you are. I don't care how big your muscles are. I don't care how big your freaking cock is. I don't give a shit. At some point, every single person, if they're lucky, they get old. And when you get old, you have nothing but time to think about all the stuff that you did. All the ways you zigged when you could have fucking zagged. All the ways that you could have helped people and just said, nah, I'll let them figure it out. When you let the life raft go, when you let your friend, your fellow, your family, your non-blood people that you care so much about fall through the cracks of society. Because I know I've been down here 3-4 years now doing my videos, explaining my situation, trying to make connections and network with people to put myself with my mother in better advantage. And for some reason, evidently I can't get through to anybody at all that has as huge as a fucking vision as I do, that is willing to do it, or that can and isn't willing to do anything, you know. But all these non-profits that sell kids, you know, so all this karma, all these evildoers, all these dirty, nasty motherfuckers, you know, what are they going to do all with all their money when they're freaking offed and freaking thrown in prison? Does that mean us victims, us people that had this shit happen to us, you know? Does it go to us? Or does it just go back into the system to buy more gear so these big fucking meathead Neanderthals could beat up on your children? You know? At least teach your children how to fight back. At least to defend themselves, not even fight back, but to defend themselves, not just lay down and take it. But all these fuckers, they're going to be old. And they're going to be fat. And even if they're freaking pump machines now, and they're like, oh, I got it all going on. I'm, you know, men, might is right. Testosterone. Dude, all that shit is Kundalini life force energy. And you ain't balanced in your feminine. And so when people ain't balanced, it's going to freaking dip. It's going to dip back to calibrate, because that's how universal law is. So that's how many people are gonna go fucking crazy this weekend, because they're gonna see like, oh shit, I've been acting like this, and that's not how I was raised when I was a little kid. I wasn't taught to be like that, and all these people just went into their ego because, you know, might is right, and don't you know who they are, and all this, you know, everybody got a fucking ribbon or whatever, and some of us never got any kind of fucking ribbon until, like, I don't know, I got some when I was in the Air Force. I got awards. I got some recognitions here and there, but what are they? Frickin' paperweights now. I can't even get my frickin', you know, me and how many other veterans can't even get our frickin' owed disability rating, because you can't get a hold of anybody. But they sure keep making offices, and I sure keep getting emails from the canteen, which is like the Amazon for the VA system. They have their own little marketing. Oh, get your deals here. You know, it's all bullshit. Give me fucking money. Because evidently that's all that matters in life, because it, you know, so we'll go down to that. No, there's no spirit in that. So here comes the karma. Here comes the karma. You ready? Are you ready for the karma? Are you ready for these big motherfuckers to start fucking... And when I say big motherfucker, I mean that in women too. When women are too overly compensated in their masculine, or even their feminine. When people are just imbalanced, because people are masculine and feminine energy, but when people are just too much of one or the other, because it could be like wimpy and needy and I can't do it, it's too hard. I fucking hate those people. I don't hang out with those people. I don't know those people. That's why my world is small. Oh, here's an ant hole I went down about, because I'm just so sad about Lady Gaga and the path that she has chosen, and I hope for the best for her, that maybe she recognizes what she's doing and she redeems herself and makes it right and comes back into her spirit. But now I just gotta appreciate for the Joanne album and the time that I had getting to know myself, listening to that album and going to Tacoma and seeing her and all that stuff. However, it doesn't negate the fact that I looked up her name, the House of Gaga. But it's how it's spelled, because it's Haus. And I remember that because that was the second half of a band I used to listen to called Bauhaus when I was younger, 15. And so I looked up house. Now, because I'm like, do they test on animals? And there's all, no, we don't, right? And she's, you know, she's directly connected to marina and bloodletting and all that stuff, you know. So people could say things all they want, but what's the energy that they're coming from, and what are names and symbols that they're representations that they're using, you know? Do their words match their actions? And so, oh yeah, we don't test that. But then when you House of Gaga, when you look at the word house, it's who are related by blood, home. Now that could be interpreted in several different ways, and I'm not even going to put an interpretation on it. Because I just want her to go back into her heart space, but that could go. so many different ways. It's the interpretation, I guess, on how I feel. If I feel like looking at her like a freaking, vampire and all, that's, well, she did just name her album something Chrome. I mean, and that is something that she did to like current, like right now, So it's like when people keep acting, Keegan said that earlier today. I say it a lot too. It's a common thing that people say when people tell you who they are. I'm always telling people who I am. That's why I'm doing this, to teach people to read who people are. I am a lot of love. I'm a lot of shadow. I am 51% more love. And, less shadow aspects. But what's a shadow aspect? To some people, a shadow. Oh, shoot, there's going to be a fly spider showdown. No, I don't think this fly is a contender. Yellow jackets are mean. They just tag them. Fucking nature's brutal, man, and people forget we're animals. No wonder people do so many gross, dominant things. It's just dominance. It's power. It's control. That's what all that sex, all that stuff is. All of it is all that stuff. But see, I mean, I'm a sexual being. Don't get me wrong. But I'm a monogamous being. See, it keeps me out of trouble because I only like one. I just don't know who she is yet. I just got hot. The sun shifted and then it's pretty hot today. I love this. My little everyone should have one of these, I think. Battery operated. Battery operated. It works. They had that one and blue one. I gave a kid, it won this color. I gave it to a kid. I didn't think a kid for his 12-year-old birthday should be getting a purple. It's my least favorite color. I hate the color, but I'm just going to get a bunch of stickers and cover it with stickers or something because, no, I just don't like purple. It reminds me of that Regal lizard stuff. Nope, it's not me. It's just my own index. It's just me. It's just me. It's not purple. I always thought it is, I don't know. It's a tell for me. What else did I miss? I think that's about all I got. It's time to go get Mom some ice cream. I hope people are chill. I'm going to go in and watch some. When you gotta look at the good, and people need to focus more on the good and shit than the bad and shit. I know that there's going to be a whole bunch of people that are going to be looking at, because people are waking up right now. They're seeing all the nasty stuff that I've known about since my whole life. So I got to be compassionate and understanding and help aid with this wake up. It's okay. Everybody's, if you're up here, we're going to need you down here. Everybody just keep it down here. Because if they don't, that's going to combust fights, it's going to combust fires, it's going to combust hurricanes, it's going to combust, it's going to spark all of these occurrences. So people just need to find their peace within. So, God willing, the creek don't rise. I'll be back in the morning. Hope you have a good evening. Peace.